Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a great weekend. So today we're going to talk about two different stocks that I got into this past week. We're also going to address, the GameStop situation. I mean, that's been blowing up the stock market. It's been pretty crazy, and whether that's going to contribute to a market correction. So as always, this video is for education and entertainment purposes only. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so the first stock we're going to take a look at is going to be QELL. That's ticker symbol QELL. Now, QELL, they did a $300 million SPAC IPO back in September of 2020. Now, when they did this IPO, there was a bunch of buzz that they'd be merging with Proterra, and everyone was real excited. Now, unfortunately, Proterra went ahead with ArcLight, ACTC, and ArcLight, they've shot up. I think they're at $24 now. So we know QELL is going to be merging with an EV play, and with Lucid Motors off the table, with Proterra off the table, we're kind of, curious to see what they merge with. Right now, they're trading at around 12.60. You could probably aim to get in from, the mid 11s to low 12s, even though opening a starter position right now isn't the worst thing in the world. So the next SPAC we're going to be taking a look at is a GSAH. Now, this is going to be crypto. They have $700 million backing from Goldman Sachs. And, when Goldman Sachs is involved with something, a lot of people tend to be interested. Now, Goldman Sachs has expressed interest in getting into cryptocurrency. I mean, that's a smart move, especially with Bitcoin, surging. Crypto in general is just raging. But right now, GSAH is going to be looking at a few rumors as to who they're going to be merging with. The first one is going to be Coinbase. Now, this is one that I'm kind of excited about. I'm sure you've seen commercials for Coinbase on YouTube. And I'd say it's a bit of a stretch, but in the event that comes to fruition, we do get Coinbase, I think can be pretty massive. So looking over here at their website, we can see that Coinbase, they allow you to buy and sell crypto. They got 43 million users in 100 plus different countries, and they got 90 billion plus in assets on the platform. So Coinbase is one I really like. Now the next one is going to be eToro. eToro is a little smaller, it only has 13 million users here. We're looking at their website. They got 13 million users in 140 different countries. They also specialize in buying and selling crypto. So the next rumor out there is that GSAH is going to be merging with MoneyLion. So MoneyLion, they've already expressed interest in going public via a SPAC merger. And even though they don't have anything to do with crypto, they're strictly fintech, so online banking, online crediting. They are in the sector that I think is going to do pretty well here in 2021. Now, there's been some stuff that's come out recently that MoneyLion may be actually merging with Fusion, FUSE, but again, that's just a target rumor. There's nothing to it. We already saw how Proterra fell through with QELL, so we're just going to have to see how this plays out. Now, right now, GSAH, they're trading around the mid 11s, which I think is a decent place to start a position, maybe add to a position, even though it may potentially get down to 10. And that's because of that SPAC floor at $10. But regardless, whichever one of those three, or even if it's another one, GSAH has already expressed interest in going the route of merging with a company involved in crypto in some way, fintech in some way. And I think just based on how things are going so far at the end of 2020, as well as in 2021, that's going to be a market area, sector that we want to get into. All right, now moving on to GameStop. GameStop. Oh my goodness, what a week. All right, so to get into what happened with GameStop, we have to first start with short selling, all right, and how all this big run and everything, how this can actually, affect the market. We kind of saw this on Friday, and I think the Dow is down like 1,200 points or something from the start of the week. So first, short selling. All right, so short selling is when you borrow shares from someone and immediately sell those shares. So you pay a small premium to borrow and immediately sell. You then hope the stock goes down and buy back for a lower price. Now the hedgies, they got super greedy, all right? They had this thing shorted at, I want to say it was around 144%. Now that's naked shorting, incredibly dumb, all right? So these retail investors, they saw what was going on with GameStop, and they decided, hey, we're going to go after these hedgies. We're going to take them out. We're going to see, if we can drive the stock price up and make them cover, and that's exactly what they did. They took this thing from $35, $40 a share all the way up over 500. I think it was 500 on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And these hedgies tried everything. They tried halting the stock multiple times. Look, I know halting the stock is all about when there's a buy side imbalance or a sell side imbalance, but the fact of the matter is that when you halt the stock, you kill the momentum that that stock has. They tried flash crashes. Again, this is just my crazy conspiracy, but we saw a flash crash on Monday. Market dropped about 300 points and then back up 250 points in about 5 minutes. We saw that again on Wednesday. We saw that even in Wednesday and after hours at 6 p.m. once most brokerages had closed. I guess they stayed late or something. But nothing quite like Thursday. On Thursday, brokerages stopped selling or stopped allowing retail to buy the shares and only permitted selling. So as a result, stock price cratered. But guess what? Friday it came back up above 325. Now, why is that important? Well, above 200, I think the number was, is you initiate a gamma squeeze. Gamma squeeze is when these hedgies sold naked call options. They were hoping to pocket the premium and not worry about it. They sold these call options way out of the money, but unfortunately for them, GameStop, they took off, they broke all of that. And so now I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 9 to 13 million shares that have to be purchased to cover these calls. So where are they going to find these shares? They're going to find them eventually, but are they going to find them at 325? Are they going to find them at 500? Are they going to find them at 1,000? Who knows how high this thing can go? Now, the reason this affects the market as a whole is you have hedgies liquidating positions to cover their shorts. All right. So you saw Melville Capital. I mean, gosh, that thing's lost what, 30% of their portfolio this quarter. I mean, it's the end of January, but you had Melville Capital. They had to liquidate their Alibaba and their Expedia holdings. So we've been hearing a bunch about market correction. Maybe this is the beginning of a market correction. I wouldn't be surprised to see 5 to 10% pullback. Market kind of catches its feet and starts moving back up. But GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, I mean, these guys really did a number on these hedge funds. So what I'm looking for next week is to maybe enter a position into the VIX. So that's, ticker symbol UVXY. This is short-term futures. This is going to protect against volatility in the market. But now let's touch on what we talked about last week. So we had gold nugget. Now remember that 50-day moving average, that was around 20. It surged up above 21 on Monday. And you had this old GameStop thing. You had some flash crashes, all this kind of stuff, killed all momentum. This thing broke that 50-day moving average. It's right now trading the high 17s. I think it's around 1796. Nothing has changed, in my opinion, for a long term, even short term. A couple positive articles came out about GNOG over the weekend, and I think this is still going to be pretty decent moving forward. APXT, they also got caught in this downtrend this past week. Again, I think they even got as low as 14, I want to say, maybe 14 on Thursday. And this is when it was trading back in the mid-15s on Friday of last week. So again, nothing has changed. They're still merging with AvePoint. This is something to get used to with these SPACs. They have volatility. Make sure you're starting with a core position, small amount of shares, and then if it falls below that buying point, make sure you add in increments, maybe 50 shares at a time, maybe 10 shares at a time. But whatever you do not go all in on these SPACs when you enter with your buying point. So VGAC, they had kind of an interesting week. So I think it was Wednesday, they just popped up to 16. You had a couple big buys come in. This really drove up the price. I think it went from $14.90 up to 16 in maybe 2 or 3 buys. I mean, it was instantaneous. It actually halted up by 16, but then the rumors started to come out. They were merging with 23andMe. And I guess people really liked Virgin Orbit. I thought it was Virgin Orbit, and that kind of killed the upwards momentum. I still like them, especially for their merger target announcement, and that should do it with the ones we talked about last week. So anyway, kind of to wrap this up, we're going to have to watch the market on Monday. I think you could have a bit more of a pullback. But again, these SPACs like QELL, GSAH, these are SPACs that are pretty close to their floor. Anyway, that being said, looking forward to Monday. It's going to be a great week. Hopefully we're able to take advantage of whatever buying opportunities the market gives us. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next one.